Okay, so last year I bought a 2014 Spark EV. It's an all-electric car, and I've got almost 20,000 miles on it now. I'm just over 18,000 something miles. I think at this point I can share my review of the car, explain the pros and cons of owning a all-electric car and using it as my daily commuter. Now the car is really quick off the line. It's spec'd at having 400 foot-pounds of torque. It does 0 to 60 in around 7.8 seconds, but it's just smooth acceleration throughout the entire speed range. Now my commute is over 80 miles, and I can usually do a full round-trip commute and have around 20 miles remaining on the battery pack when I get back. Now, my commute's on backcountry roads, it's not at highway speeds, and that's probably why I'm getting such a good range out of the car. The Chevy Spark has an incredibly efficient drivetrain, and I'm usually able to average between 5 to 6 miles per kilowatt hour. Now, at 5 miles per kilowatt hour, for what I pay from electricity from the grid, that comes out to be about 2.8 cents per mile. So I usually end up paying anywhere between 2 to 3 cents per mile to drive this car, so it's an incredibly cost-effective way to travel. Now in the future I plan on putting solar panels on the roof of my house, so after that my daily commute will pretty much be covered and paid for by the sun, so it'll be like commuting for free. Now being an all-electric car, I don't have a lot of the maintenance expenses that I would have on my gas car, so I really expect the most expensive yearly cost to driving this car to be replacing the tires. Now obviously one of the larger concerns on all-electric cars is the battery pack. Now Chevy gives a warranty of 8 years or 100,000 miles on the battery pack, but even to me, more importantly than that, is the fact that I'm very familiar with these batteries. These are the same batteries that I spec'd for the first Solon 1 25. They're lithium iron phosphate batteries, and I've done a lot of research on these batteries, so I have a lot of faith in the battery pack for this car. Okay, so the car handles well. The only thing I can say is that it gets a little squirrely under hard acceleration. There's just a lot of torque to the front wheels, but it's a fun, zippy car to drive. I really enjoy it. One of the things I enjoy the most is how quiet the car is. I really enjoy listening to audiobooks from audible.com, and I'm able to listen to these in a nice, quiet atmosphere. I really appreciate that. Okay, there's a really nice OnStar app for the car, and this gives you control over a lot of the car's functions remotely. And you can send a lock command, a honk your horn and lights, but the most useful thing is the remote start command. This will allow you to start your car, set the interior temperature while it's still plugged in and charging. And this will save you a lot of energy for setting your internal environmental temperature controls. Okay, so I'm going to test the car 0 to 60 time in sport mode. Sport mode's activated. Check out how many watts this pulls as we do this 0 to 60. So I saw it pull up to 120,000 watts at one point. Pretty interesting. Now, this car can do a pretty impressive amount of regeneration braking as well. So check this out. I'm going to go into regen here by braking. And you can see we can get a full 60,000 watts of regenerative braking on this car. So pretty cool. Okay, so I just want to point out some of the dash configurations. You've got 4 different configurations here. This one has a little eco ball that you try to keep in the center. If you deaccelerate too quickly, it falls out. If you accelerate too fast, it goes up and turns kind of orange. But that one's kind of fun. My personal favorite, though, is this one right here. This one gives me a lot of the information that I use to get maximum efficiency out of this car when I'm driving it. So you can see that in this mode, I've got my how many watts I'm using currently, which right now is 6,000 watts. My maximum range at this point, my minimum range, how many miles I have left, which is 52 miles. I just really like this configuration. Of course, you can do some interesting things here. You can get your car tire pressure, other things there. So I really do like the 2 display panels in this car. It's very easy to clean. You just wipe off. So yeah, easy to clean, gives me all the information I need to know right here in a quick visual. Okay, so I'm here at the electric car charging station, and one of the neat things about this station is that it's solar powered, so it collects the solar up here on this rooftop, and that keeps the cars in the shade, so it kind of serves a dual purpose. What I really want to point out today is that you can see it's a very cloudy day. There's no direct sun in the sky anywhere today. So let's go over here and see how many watts
this covering is putting out. So I've got my car charging on it, and we can see here that even on a very cloudy day such as today, it's putting out 3,000 watts. How cool is that? So it could actually be charging a couple cars here in 2 cars or so, just real-time energy on a cloudy day. So anyway, so that was very, very cool. I'll come back here in a couple hours and this is gonna be all topped off.
Okay, so I've shared a lot of the positives to using an all-electric car. I've owned the car long enough now to discover what some of the inconvenient factors are in owning an all-electric car. Okay, so hands down, the biggest inconvenience so far with an all-electric car has been maintaining a comfortable interior temperature. Now, I was under the false impression that the air conditioner would kind of be my biggest problem in the summertime and keeping the car cool. Well, really, the air conditioner doesn't take all that much energy. I'm able to maintain a comfortable interior temperature in the summertime and still do my round-trip commute without having to top off in town. So there's really no issue there. The bigger issue is heating the car up in the wintertime. So on a really cold day in the winter, if it's down around 10 degrees, it can pull like 5,000 watts to power the heater to heat up the interior temperature. And that's a lot of energy. You know, I can drive down the road at a pretty good clip when I'm pulling 5,000 watts of energy. So that little phone app I showed you earlier will really help in this regard. You can do a remote start and heat up your car while it's plugged into the grid, saving your energy in the battery bank for your commute later. So I highly recommend that app. Now, apart from that, the only thing I can really do is dress up like an Eskimo and use the heater that's in the seat. It has a quite good heater for the seat, keeps you nice and toasty warm, and between those two things, I survive in the winter. It's not all that comfortable. Now, if I had a shorter commute, if my commute was like 20 miles one way, I had like a 50-mile round-trip commute, I think I could use this car, set the interior temperature to whatever I want, drive it however I want. I wouldn't have any issues whatsoever. So my inconveniences and issues really come from trying to, press the outer range of this car. And when I drive, the speed limit on my commute to work and, don't go racing off stoplights or anything like that, I can actually get some incredible efficiency out of this car. Okay, so I'm on my commute into the office, and it's over a 40-mile trip one way, so it'll be over 80 miles round trip, and it's just a perfect day for this. I've been going about 5 miles an hour under the speed limit. The speed limit here is 45. Where the speed limit was 50, I was doing 45. So about 5 miles an hour under. It's 73 degrees outside, and I tell you, it's the perfect day to set a record for miles per kilowatt hour. So this will probably be my best. I know I did 7.2 miles per kilowatt hour one time prior to this, but anyway, just out to see how well I can do on a round trip when it comes to your miles per kilowatt hour. So try to set a little record here. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I arrived at my office and I averaged 7.4 miles per kilowatt hour over 42.8 miles. That's one way. So this will be an 84-mile round trip. You can see my remaining range after this commute is 81 miles if I continue to drive the way I've been driving. And, I will say that I seem to have a knack at eking out the best performance out of systems. This is by no means reflective of normal everyday driving. I ran 5 miles an hour on average, lower than the speed limit, all the way in, and then I hit really slow traffic. And that may have actually helped my miles per kilowatt hour average here right at the end. But anyway, that's my personal best record so far, and I'm very, very happy with that.